Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Anthony Chow, who's co-founder at Agronomics. Hi today, Anthony.
Nice to see you again.
Right, we've got your company, I suppose, in theory, it's at the forefront of all that's new and good in your space. Maybe you could just run us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Agronomics is a London-listed investment company focused on the field of cellular agriculture. This encompasses three key verticals, which is cell culture companies for the production of cultivated meat and seafood, precision fermentation companies for the production of single proteins with applications in dairy, eggs, palm oil, and a variety of other products. And then finally, the third vertical is the enabling technologies. And our primary play into that vertical is the physical infrastructure that is going to be required to really scale precision fermentation companies. It's been a pretty busy quarter, and we've had quite a lot of fundraising activity, again, particularly on the precision fermentation side. We've had Onago achieve the largest Series A financing in the sector within the last 24 months. Liberation Labs has raised $10 million, or we invested a further $10 million, and a couple of other investors came alongside us there. And then Clean Food Group, our precision fermentation palm oil company, has also raised some additional funds. And outside of that, we've actually achieved the second, third, and fourth largest financings in the sector as well. So there is perhaps you might use the phrase green shoots appearing on the financing front for some of our portfolio companies. And I think that speaks to the strength of them, because only good companies are getting funded in this environment.
And just because obviously one of the things that happens here is that you obviously are very familiar with what you do, because that's what you do. But precision fermentation, what exactly is that?
This is where you use microbes as cell factories. So you take a single-celled organism, you insert the code by genetically modifying it for the protein that you want it to produce, which it wouldn't produce naturally otherwise. And think E. coli or yeast or some other types of fungi. So you insert that code, and in the simplest of terms, you feed that organism sugar, which is a process that's not dissimilar to brewing beer. And that organism expresses that protein inside its body, and then the trick is to get it out. So, dairy is an $800 billion market. Eggs is a $400 billion market. Palm oil also, tens of billions of dollars. And this technology has the potential to ultimately displace conventional production of all of those products and more.
Right, and just in terms of the lay of the land, I mean, you can see that, you can see that Agronomics is all cashed up. There's plenty of cash going into your space, by your investments and everything else. It probably couldn't, it couldn't be any more than it is. It's that type of interest is there, but the sort of actual investment money going in. Yes. Do you think that there's been, just an issue that you don't have any control on, that maybe a couple of years ago, or maybe during the pandemic, the whole agronomics area, if you can call it that, it was in a sort of a bubble. It was sort of the hottest thing around, and we are now sort of re-rating back to maybe a more normal valuation.
Yeah, look, I think right now we're probably in the trough of disillusionment in the hype cycle curve. But the technical progress that we're seeing within companies, increasing scale and getting costs closer to conventional production is very impressive. And aside from the technical progress, the reality is that we simply cannot feed the global population today with current consumption patterns and production methods. And we think that precision fermentation and cell culture are the only technologies that have the potential to increase food production and decrease the resources required to produce it. So if this doesn't work, we simply can't feed a population of 10 billion people.
And maybe it's analogous to the sort of the kickback, or the blowback we're getting in the EV area. That whether or not people are hot on Tesla shares at the moment, at the end of the day, we'll have to go much more towards EVs because the current fossil fuel situation is unsustainable.
Yeah, that's right. But look, it's worth pointing out that this is a transition away from animals and plants on the scale of the energy transition. It's going to take decades, and it's going to take trillions of dollars of capex investments before we really start displacing conventional animal husbandry. But that speaks to the size of the opportunity in front of agronomics.
Right, you've got obviously a sort of sprawling portfolio. I think it's to 20 companies plus, etc. Maybe we can just finish off what might be your favorite child amongst all those.
Yeah, certainly. Well, look, the reality is that in this market, higher interest rates, high inflation, investors are looking for cash flow generation and liquidity events. And the company in our portfolio that is the closest to this, and by close, I'm talking within 12 months, is Liberation Labs. It's the largest position in Agronomics' portfolio. That's not an accident. That is very much by design because we are so bullish on this. Liberation Labs factory that's being built in Indiana, in the US, should throw off about $25 million of free cash flow once it's commissioned. And Agronomics at that point will own about a third of it. So that's going to be a very material cash flow that investment analysts can do a proper DCF on, and we won't have to talk about blue sky projections anymore.
Well, we look forward to that blue sky having the sun shining in it as well. In the meantime, Anthony Chow, co-founder at Agronomics, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.